Good afternoon, sports fans, and welcome to Northern Burlington County Regional High School. I am Mr. James Dowd, video production teacher and your broadcaster here as the Northern Burlington Lady Greyhounds take on the Lawrence Cardinals. And this, folks, is a very, very exciting day. This is the Group 3 Central Jersey Sectional Final. And these two teams come in playing some outstanding soccer here on the pitch. And Northern is the number 1 seed. Lawrence is the number 2 seed, so I expect to have a really, really great game. Northern is led by their standout, Miss Gianna Hamp, who I believe is 2 goals away from the all-time scoring record, so certainly rooting for her. But more importantly, great save there by Lawrence, but more importantly, rooting for a Greyhound victory here at the farm. We've got a great turnout of friends, family, community members here on hand. I saw our superintendent, Dr. Andrew Zuckerman, our principal, Dr. Caitlin McCann, our assistant principal, Mr. Dan DePoto, and others. Lots of faculty, friends here for this sectional final. And this would be, with a win, Northern's first ever sectional final victory. So, fingers crossed for the Greyhounds. Lawrence, meanwhile, comes in here. They have a proud tradition of soccer. I actually attended Lawrence High myself, and the Cardinals won a state championship in my time there. That was for boys soccer, but nonetheless, a soccer school, and you don't get to be the number 2 seed and be in a sectional final without really working hard. So Northern, in addition to Hamp, has some great players like Leah Zola, Bex Kearns, and others, and they're led by head coach Miss Shannon Yesner and assistant coach Miss Michelle Rafrano, and they've, like I said, have these girls playing some outstanding soccer here. Looked like a big hit there, but going to be a physical one. Always want to go out there and put on your best. Want to take this opportunity early in the game to thank our sponsor, Canon, manufacturer of awesome electronic devices. This game is actually being filmed with Canon cameras, so I want to thank them for their support. And if any of our viewers are interested in any sponsorship opportunities, you can email us, northerntv@nburlington.com, or our Director of Instruction, Mr. Matt Conowitz, mconowitz@nburlington.com. And those graphics appear before and after the game for all kinds of ways to keep our community plugged in, and not just athletics. Northern has a variety of really amazing academic awards. We have our annual band and chorus concerts at both the middle school and the high school coming up next month. NHS induction. We have our flagship show, the Northern News, and actually that show is hosted by cheerleading captain and homecoming queen Miss Paige Zuzio. Does a great job. We also have some really awesome additional talent like Miss Samantha Consul, Mr. David Wood, Miss Summer Craft, and others who really put together a tremendous show. And that show will actually have a regular season sports recap where we'll bring all of our viewers up to date on all the excitement that was here with our athletic teams. So this one's still 0-0. Looks like one of the hounds was tripped up there, but no call. And they're going to take back over on offense. Also have some really exciting things coming up next weekend here at the farm, where Northern is putting on their annual fall play, Peter and the Starcatcher. You can check that out. And you can check out how to get tickets on our website. So as we wrap up the fall sports season, as this is the final game for the sectional final, still some really exciting things left here for both the middle school and the high school. And actually we have a very exciting middle school dance coming up tonight. So lots of ways for our kids to stay active and lots of positive things here, not just in this game, but here at Northern. So Lawrence in some prime position here to possibly score a goal. And we'll see what they can do here as we are about 5 minutes into this one. Good defense there by the Greyhounds, getting out of a little bit of a jam there. And we'll see what they have in store. Northern TV was on hand for several football games this past season. We were on hand for field hockey senior night. In addition, we did girls volleyball and boys soccer. So look to cap this season off with a sectional championship. That would be just amazing here for our girls, our coaches, and our fans. And good attempt there by the Hounds, but that one's going to go out of bounds. But certainly like the aggression thus far. And just to recap how both teams got here in this matchup, Northern defeated Nottingham in the first round. Northern was the first seed. Nottingham was the 16th seed. Northern got that big win, moved on to face Red Bank Regional. That was in the quarterfinals. They won that one 5-1. And then got some good luck from a Neptune team that upsetted both Burlington Township and Brick Memorial as a lower seed. So a credit to Neptune. Northern was victorious in that matchup, and that got them here to the finals. Meanwhile, Lawrence defeated Brick Township. As I stated, Lawrence is the number 2 seed. Brick was the 15. They defeated them 3-1. Then they defeated Steiner on penalty kicks, getting a win. Steiner was the 7 seed, and then they got a big win versus Freehold Borough, who was the 3 seed. So well-deserved for both these teams, and very much looking forward how this one shakes out here at the farm. Record-wise, Northern finished the season 14-2 with a couple of ties, as I stated, led by standout Gianna Hamp, who I believe is a University of North Carolina commit, so wishing her the best of luck, and all of our girls. Really, soccer is a very combined team effort, not like something like, for example, bowling or even golf, where you play kind of independently. But soccer, it really relies on the defensive players, the goalie, the middies, the strikers, and so just a credit to all the players for really having a great season and really contributing to this success here. And Lawrence, meanwhile, finished their season with 14 victories, and we'll get to some of their outstanding players in just a bit. But they're a good team, Lawrence. They were 5-3 at home, 3-2 on the road. Obviously have won a handful of games to get here. Meanwhile, the Greyhounds, as I stated, with their season, they were really outstanding at home, going 5-1 and 7-1 on the road. So should be a great matchup here, and we've got a really, really good game thus far. So Lawrence doing a great job keeping the ball out of the hands, or the feet rather, of Miss Gianna Hamp. She actually, as I stated, is just 2 goals away from being our all-time leading scorer, but she actually set the school record for most goals in a season, and no matter what happens today, the winner of this game will face the winner of Saturday morning's game of the South Jersey final between Morristown and Shawnee. So still plenty of excitement left in this one, and pending a win, Northern will continue to play in their season, and you can check out the schedules for those games on our athletic website. You can also check out some of our other exciting programming on YouTube with our channel, Northern TV. As I stated, we did a handful of sporting events this season, including our girls field hockey senior night, a big win for our football team, in addition to our boys soccer team. You can also check out our excitement from last year, several games, our academic awards, concerts. You can follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Northern_TV, for all kinds of ways to stay plugged into all the excitement here, production-wise. And Northern looks like they're going to get a throw in here quickly. Certainly looking to get on the board. We're about 10 minutes into this one. But a good shot gets saved by the keeper. Looks like that one was slightly wide, but good shot attempt there by Northern. And these teams look to recalibrate here and pick back up. So corner kick here for Northern. Chance to score. And blocked by the defense of Lawrence. So credit to them thus far. We are at a standstill. It's still 0-0. Anybody's game. Again, for those tuning in, I am Mr. James Dowd. I'm here live at the farm. It is Friday, November 14th, 2025, as the Northern Burlington Lady Greyhounds take on the Lawrence Cardinals in the Central Jersey Group 3 sectional final. And as I stated previously, these teams are the number 1 and number 2 seeds respectively. So we've got the top 2 teams fighting for a championship. Northern has certainly dominated time of possession thus far, but still a 0-0 score. So ball's going to go out of bounds. And certainly I've been talking about our standouts for the Hounds, but this is a team with a really good roster. They have Alexa Hanft, who is the younger sister of Gianna Hanft, freshman, Addison DeSantis, Charlotte Calora, and Abigail Buki. So they have a really good team and hopefully can continue to build on this success for years to come. Lawrence, however, has a really competitive team as well. 8-2 league record. Now they compete in the CVC, whereas Northern competes in the BCSL, but they have a really talented coach in Miss Emily Palumbo, who actually earned her 100th career win this season, in addition to assistant coaches Kelsey Holt and their JV coach Sarah Berardi. So they've got a talented squad out there, and we still have just over 20 minutes to play in this first half, and it's been really just a stalemate here thus far, with both teams kind of feeling each other out in this final game. So lots of excitement here for these two teams. Lots of soccer left here in this one, but there's a great turnout for not just Northern, but for Lawrence as well. Lawrence High is approximately 20 miles away, located in Lawrenceville, New Jersey. This is a new, repurposed, and updated field. It was done over the summer. Special credit to our facilities department and the entire construction crew. We have new turf, we have new designs, we have updated stands, and they really did a great job here making this a really integral part of our athletics here. Northern's certainly been the aggressor thus far. But as I stated, Lawrence has a really good team. They've actually got some really talented goalkeepers with Miss Alexis Audette, Vlada Kachurak. They also have some really talented players like Shania Schroff, Scarlett Potter, Rebecca Boggs, Quinn LaFlame, Maya Kinchinska, Kayla Williams, Kaylin LaFlame, as well as Aiden Anderson, Ava Donnelly, and others. So can't take any opponent lightly, and certainly Northern has not been doing that, and vice versa to Lawrence. So two very, very talented teams. Even game here. Great night to be a Greyhound, and looking forward to, hopefully, as I stated, fingers crossed, a big Hounds victory. As previously mentioned, this would be their first sectional title in school history, so that would mean a lot to the girls, to the team, to the coaches, to just our whole community here at Northern Burlington. So 23 minutes left here in this first half. Currently 0-0. Been a defensive battle. Both teams have had a couple of chances, but looks like Lawrence is going to try to make the most here as they cross midfield and maybe get on the board. So a throw in here from the Cardinals, quick header. And once again, this is the Group 3 sectional final. It is Friday, November 14th, 2025. Emily Palumbo's 13th year as coach of the Lawrence Cardinals. As I stated, very successful coach, celebrated her 100th win. And they are a really special group, as she stated. They played over half their season without CVC Player of the Year Becca Boggs after she suffered a season-ending knee injury. So they've had a tough road to the final, and this is actually their second straight sectional final. But still, anybody's game. Cards lost last year in the finals, but nevertheless, good experience. Their victories this year matched their program record set in 1985, so they've really come together as a team collectively. And speaking of other local teams in the Central Group 2 final, neighboring school here to Northern, Allentown, is back in the sectional final for the first time since 2019. They won the sectional title in 2017, and they are up against top-seeded Point Pleasant Borough. So we wish our neighboring school good luck as well. Allentown is adjacent to Northern, so lots of friends, family, community members from these various towns. Still scoreless in this one. Can't say it enough. Once again, the student section is loud tonight. Love the support from the friends, family, community members. Great turnout. It's really perfect weather for late season soccer. And I'll tell you what, Friday night lights here at the farm always have a great energy here at Northern Burlington. The field really come together, as I previously mentioned. So well maintained. Turf looks fast. It's good for quick passes. The ball's moving really clean tonight. Perfect for possession play. A little bit of wind, so that may affect some long balls, but nevertheless. Plenty of time left in this one, but still urgency for both these teams. Still 0-0. But you know what? Our upperclassmen are really stepping up. And it's great to see the younger players involved in this as well. Offense is doing a great job switching the field. They've been doing some nice movement off the ball, keeping the defenders guessing. And I'll tell you what, there's great communication in the back. Really organized tonight. And they've just been very, very structured defensively. And their midfield is really working hard, controlling the tempo in this one. So Lawrence looking to break through the defense here. And broken up by the Greyhounds. So great play there. And they're going to send that one to about midfield. But Northern in prime position to hopefully get on the board. Lawrence looked like they came out a little sluggish. Certainly being on the road is difficult, and with some travel time. But nonetheless, playing a really good game. And Northern looks to hopefully set something up here, but Cardinals doing a great job. Great passing there by the Greyhounds. And may have a chance here. Knocked away by the Cardinals. Smart move there by the defense. We have just about 18 minutes left to play in this first half. So we're about halfway through this one. 0-0 game. This game has come as advertised, with both these teams really playing well. And still anybody's game. Corner kick here by the Hounds. And scooped up there by the keeper for the Cardinals. So nice defense there from the away squad. And everything comes down to tonight, folks. This is for the sectional title. Lawrence is returning to the finals after falling short last year. Coming back, trying to come together, as I stated, after the loss of their CVC Player of the Year. But you could really feel the excitement on both sides. And this is what these girls have trained for and the coaches have trained for since August. Win or lose, both these teams will remember this game, and they should be very, very proud to be here. And you can see Lawrence has been hungry, playing defensively. Northern wants nothing more than to get a big win. This is, as I stated, unprecedented. If the Hounds, this would be their first, very, very first sectional title, and they are approximately 60 minutes away from making school history. If, fingers crossed, as I stated, they could be the first team to ever win a sectional title, it would be quite the moment for these girls. And again, couldn't tell you how much this would mean to the NB community. Everyone's here tonight. Can't find a seat. This place is packed. Northern certainly got the home field energy on their side. So, home crowd giving Northern a boost. Lawrence, as I stated, brought a big crowd too, so great atmosphere for school soccer. Lawrence is playing like a team that knows what a final feels like. Great composure on the ball. That's their experience showing. Northern looks fearless right now. They're not playing like a team lucky to be here. They've had the best season. They're the number one seed, and their energy and pressure on Lawrence is causing problems. And I'd look for the ball to get in the net for the Greyhounds sooner than later. But really, championship games come down to who wins the midfield. And obviously, goalkeeping could decide the game. One big save could change everything. So it's amazing thus far to see both teams battle with so much heart. And again, both programs should be so proud. And the seniors especially have poured 4 years into moments like this. And quite frankly, this is what high school sports are all about. Fans seem a little upset about that one. We'll see how the refs ruled it. A little meeting of the minds here from the referees. A great opportunity here for Northern to get on the board in this first half. Could be a big momentum shifter as the game is currently scoreless. So we'll see what the Hounds set up here. With a great chance to put a goal on the board. Great save there. Great defense by Lawrence. Another defender couldn't quite see the number on that one, but with the assist there on the defensive end. So great shot attempt there by the Lady Hounds. Great defense there by the Cardinals. So we knew this was going to be a physical game, and these girls have certainly come out here. These programs have come so far from August, and this is just a great night here for Northern soccer. And regardless of the outcome, both teams should be very, very happy with what they've done. Now, as previously stated, Gianna Hamp is really the centerpiece of Northern Burlington's attack. So Lawrence is doing a great job containing her. They've really built their defensive plan around that, and they're doubling her the moment she turns. And every time Hamp gets a touch, there's a defender right on her and another one shadowing the passing lane. So they're not giving her space to run, and Lawrence isn't letting her get into those dangerous spots she usually thrives in. Their backs have been really disciplined, staying goal side when Ham forces wide, and they're holding their middies, tracking her all over the field, which has been huge for them, and they're staying patient. Northern really relies on Hamp to break open games. Lawrence knows if they can limit her shots, they can limit the rhythm by the Lady Hounds. And this is really the most quiet we've seen Hamp in a first half all postseason. So that says a lot about Lawrence's preparation. Meanwhile, Northern can still pour on the pressure. Championship match at home. They've come out really aggressive. The first minutes felt like a wave of pressure from Northern, and their front line is pressing, and they're not letting Lawrence build any comfortability out of the back. And you can see Northern really wants that first goal. They're attacking every chance they get, and they've been dangerous off early crosses. They're trying to stretch Lawrence's back line. Quick combinations around the box. And they're getting numbers forward. They've really been the aggressors, as previously stated. And the crowd is feeding off their energy. Every time they generate a chance, the place erupts. And you could feel they really want to break this game open early, especially trying to win their first ever sectional title. So Lawrence is bending, not breaking. They're staying compact. They're staying organized. Northern's attacking as much as they can. And it's really been a chess match here. Northern's pushing numbers forward. Lawrence is locking down their most dangerous scorer. And we'll see how it goes as we head very quickly now into the second half, which is rapidly approaching. With just over 11 minutes to play here, folks. And again, for those tuning in, I'm Mr. James Dowd, video production teacher, and we are here live. It is Friday, November 14th, 2025. It is the sectional final, Group 3, Varsity Girls Soccer, as the Northern Burlington Lady Greyhounds take on the Lawrence Cardinals, and what's really been an exciting matchup here. Northern is hosting this game, and looks like they may have had an opportunity there, but cleared out there by the Lawrence defenders. And that one's going to go out of bounds. So, clock is ticking. Lawrence is going to get the quick throw in here. Nice header. And another out of bounds. That one's going to go to Northern, who's going to throw it in quickly. Another header attempt. And back to the Cardinals. So, as this one has been so tightly contested thus far, I really think that the first team to score is really going to build momentum in this one. And that first goal is going to be so very important for either one of these teams. But nothing's going to come easy here. These two teams have worked so very hard this season. You can hear the crowd reacting to that one. Physical play out here, but it's a championship game, and we knew this was going to be a highly contested matchup, and both teams have certainly really come out here to play. And Lawrence now with a chance to possibly score a goal here in this first half, and that would be so very important. And we'll see what they can do here on this play.
No, my phone's at 66. Oh my god, my camera's at 40.
Kicks it in. And that's going to sail out of bounds. So good attempt there by the Cardinals. Northern's going to take back over here as Keeper's going to send this one down. But the clock is ticking here in this first half. So at this point, I would think, obviously, both teams want to stay aggressive. But if you could go into halftime with, at the very least, a 0-0 tie, you couldn't really ask for much more.
He was asking if there's any other Lawrence.
The fact that it's a sectional final and neither team would be down, I think, would be a great way for the coaches to keep their teams motivated and come out in the second half firing. But we'll see here. Lawrence has really stepped up their attack here in the last few minutes. But again, can't say enough about the defense of the Greyhounds here.
Did they win it?
You know, the final few minutes really define confidence, not necessarily the score. And in a game this big, first half is really all about establishing who you are, who's going to dictate the tempo. Northern has certainly been the aggressor in this first half, but you want to show that your team's not backing down physically, mentally, tactically, and you want to set the tone. You want to keep your team calm. You want to force the other side to adjust to you. I mean, finals are won as much in the mind as in the scoreboard. So Northern came in really aggressive. Lawrence stayed composed. And if Lawrence can go into halftime saying, hey, if we can survive that wave of pressure, they can think, hey, we can win this one. We can hold strong defensively. And if you're Northern, you just got to say, hey, let's keep establishing our rhythm. Let's get settled. Let's connect on those extra passes. And once we find that rhythm and the nerves have settled, we should be on the board sooner than later. Great header. And then a great scoop up there by the Hounds. But really, a tie at halftime for both teams means the plan's working. And that's a victory in and of itself. Northern leaves the field thinking we had some great opportunities to score. Lawrence leaves the field thinking we held our own. And that's a shift that could be very powerful in the second half. And a tie at halftime gives the coaches a clear message, saying, hey, look, we handled their best punches. Let's settle in. Let's find our chances. We stay organized. We stay together. And now the second half is ours. And if the players can stay locked in, they can get a big-time win. And second half really goes on to see who's mentally tougher, who can make the smarter adjustments. Games like this are decided in moments. And belief is everything in November soccer. So it's going to be a great second half. Certainly this one is not quite done, but we've seen some great play from both teams. And that's a great shot by Northern, and it hits the crossbar. How advantageous for the Cardinals. That one hits the crossbar. That could have been a goal for the Hounds. That would have gave them some really awesome advantage here as we wind down this first half. But just bad luck there on the kick, but great play by the Greyhounds. And we're going to try to wind down this first half now. But that was just a great play, and that would have been amazing for the Lady Hounds.
I still have to cancel.
So about 5 minutes left here in this one. What a night it has been here at Northern Burlington. A packed crowd, 2 incredible programs, and everything on the line. Lawrence returning to the finals after last year's miss, and Northern Burlington fighting for their first ever sectional championship. And this is a matchup built on storylines, skill, and heart, and it's delivered every single minute here, folks, in this first half. One of the biggest storylines of the night was Lawrence's defense. What were they going to do against Northern star Gianna Hamp? Hamp has been a goal-scoring machine all season, and Lawrence has really made it their mission to contain her. And just as I say that, great shot attempt and a great save. And from the first whistle, they've doubled her on all her touches, tracked her across midfield, denied her space in dangerous positions. And they're really, with their back line and midfield, working as a unit, stayed compact and patient. And Hamp has had her chances, but Lawrence's defense and their discipline has been one of the keys, to this first half. But Lawrence, it hasn't been easy for him. Northern's had quite a bit of offensive pressure thus far. Their attack's been relentless, especially in the first half of this game. They've pressed, they've moved the ball quickly, and they've tested Lawrence's defense repeatedly. And their channels have been dangerous, crossing into the box, and the energy from the home crowd thus far has really pushed them to continue to attack. Little physical action there, but nonetheless, both teams have really stayed focused and composed this entire first half, and it's admirable as this is a championship game. And really, as I stated, the first half in a championship really sets the tone, and tonight's been no exception thus far. Lawrence has stayed organized and disciplined. Northern has really come in aggressive. And as I say that, another shot by Northern, that's going to hit the goalpost. What? Just good luck for Lawrence. Nonetheless. And both teams have had a few chances, which have been missed, which has been huge for both teams. But it gives both of them confidence. It validates their game plan. And it really is setting up, folks, to be a second half of the ages, as we're rooting for our Hounds to pull off history in the making. And this game has been more than just tactics. It's been about belief. And Lawrence has come in seeking redemption after last year's loss. Northern is chasing history, as I stated. And every possession in this one has mattered. Every challenge, every save, every pass has really contributed to the narrative, with one experienced team trying to finish what they started versus a fearless team trying to make history. So both programs, as I stated, should be incredibly proud. The intensity, the discipline, the heart on display. Another great shot by Northern, saved by Lawrence. Reminds us why high school girls soccer is so special. And it's really been a showcase of strategy, skill, mental toughness, composure. And again, we're going to see how these teams respond to pressure in the second half, how they go in, make adjustments, execute their game plan. And we're going to have one more half for these girls to leave everything on the field. And both teams have thus far delivered on all fronts. So for the fans, for the coaches, for the girls, this will be a night they remember for years, a true battle of heart, determination, and girls soccer at its finest. So looking forward to this second half, as this one is winding down. Oof, that looked like one final attempt there by the Hounds. That would have been amazing to get that goal before the end of the half. So this one is just about to be in the books here, folks, in the first half, with the score tied 0-0. And once again, I am Mr. James Dowd, video production teacher, and that's going to do it, folks. So we'll pick back up here in the second half. So picking up here in the second half. And once again, I am Mr. James Dowd, and we are here live at the farm. It is Friday, November 14th, 2025, as the Northern Burlington Lady Greyhounds take on the Lawrence Cardinals in the Group 3 Sectional Championship, which has been a stalemate here in the first half. Coming into the second half here, tied 0-0. Both teams have done some really good things in the first half. Northern had some really great opportunities. Some bad luck with a couple of shots hitting the goal. But nevertheless, this game is still anybody's game, and we are about 40 minutes away here from history, folks. As I previously stated, Lawrence made it to the sectional championship last year, fell short. This is Northern's first chance to win a sectional championship, so obviously we're rooting for a good game, and we're rooting for the Greyhounds here at the farm, and we've got a great turnout. But really can't say enough about both these teams thus far in this one. Great goalkeeping by Kachurak at Lawrence and Sarno for Northern. Really just great experience. And as I stated previously, this is the sectional final. This will be the first sectional final win for either one of these teams, actually. So best of luck to both of them. And as I stated previously, Lawrence has done a great job keeping Gianna Half off of the scoreboard thus far, and we've got two really good teams here, 16-4-2, as I stated, 14-8. So really, two great teams playing their hearts out here, and it's really been a terrific game thus far. And Hanf has had 33 goals on the season. Keep in mind, she also missed some of her sophomore year. She's currently a junior with an injury. So top goal scorer, she's going to hopefully get on the board here and maybe get close to, if not tie, or take over the top goal scoring title in Northern history. That would be an amazing achievement. So we're definitely rooting for her. She would surpass Amy Hoyer, who is the current all-time goal scorer. So Hounds just really have to keep pressing, and I think that just as I say that, Hanf gets on the board, so Northern's going up 2-0. So great play there by Gianna Hanf, putting Northern up 1-0. The crowd has erupted, folks. That was a great assist by Mario Jones to Gianna Hanf, who now has the Hounds up 1-0. And Hanf is now one goal away from tying the all-time school record. But more importantly than the individual achievement, the team here is up 1-0 in this sectional final. So just a tremendous play there by the Greyhounds, finally getting on the board, finally breaking the ice here. It was a standstill in the first half, and now the Hounds are up 1-0. Still plenty of time left. Lawrence needs to get on the board to try to tie this one up. And I'm sure Coach Palumbo has some great plays drawn up here for the Cardinals, but just an outstanding play there for the Greyhounds, and very advantageous to them now to be up. And you can see Lawrence right back on the attack here, with now down 1-0 and trying to get back into this one very, very quickly. And they are wasting no time. And great clear out of the zone there by Northern. Want to once again, while I have the opportunity, to thank our sponsor, Canon, manufacturer of great electronic devices. This game is being filmed with Canon cameras, and if any of our viewers are interested in helping sponsor Northern TV, you can reach out to us, northerntv@nburlington.com, or our Director of Instruction, Mr. Matt Conowitz, mconowitz@nburlington.com. And those graphics appear at the beginning, at the end of this game as well. So lots of ways to stay plugged in. So Northern back on the attack. See what they can do here. And want to once again just thank our friends, family, community members for the great turnout we have here. That one, looked like it was out of bounds, but great and fancy footwork there by the Greyhounds. And they're looking to set up once again here on offense. Good command of the ball there. And it looks like they may get another attempt here. Currently up 1-0 in this one. Crossing it over. Blocked by Lawrence. And a great send up there. Great defense there by the Cardinals. So, outstanding play there by the Hounds. That one's going to go over the net. Could have been good for a field goal, folks, but nonetheless, great attempt there by Northern. So just to recap, thus far, game was tied 0-0, and with a little less than 4 minutes into the second half, Mia Jones assisted Gianna Hamp and got Northern on the board. And, Hamp, tremendous player, really credit to her offense, but really total team effort, as I stated. And, Hamp led the state in goals her freshman year, missed part of her sophomore year, with an injury, came back this year, and she, as I stated previously, has most goals in a season. But again, still, anybody's game. Hats off to Vlada Kacharak for Lawrence, doing a great job thus far. And speaking with Coach Yesner, she stated really so proud of this whole team, about all of their leadership qualities, the way they present themselves at practice, off the field, honor students off the field, great players on the field, all of them role models and leaders here at Northern, and really, really hard working. So good to see that. Meanwhile, Lawrence, as I stated, despite a depleted roster, they're battling admirably. Senior captain Kaylin LaFlame is doing a great job. Emma Skinner as well. And they're still only down 1 goal. And honestly, Lawrence has a proud tradition of soccer. Lawrence has 6 playoff victories over the last 2 seasons. Really rising to the occasion here. And they've got 7 seniors as well, in addition to Northern's really talented squad. So still anybody's game, still lots of time left here, folks, in this one. And once again, as previously stated, they are playing in their second straight sectional final. So they have certainly the experience here, doing a great job. Great scoop up there by the keeper for Lawrence. Gonna send that one to about the 40-yard line. And Northern's going to put this one back in play with another chance, hopefully, to put on another goal. But we'll see. But certainly 1-0. Love the effort from both teams. Lawrence crossing the halfway mark and sending one down there. And they've got a great chance here. But great defense there by the Hounds. But Lawrence retains possession. And Northern doing their best to keep Lawrence out of an opportunity to score a goal. Lawrence still on the attack. And Northern can't seem to clear the ball quite yet. But that one's going to go out of bounds. And we'll see whose possession that goes to here. Tough to see from this angle. But nevertheless, great matchup here. Great night to be a Greyhound. As I stated, some really exciting things on the docket for the Hounds, both at the middle school with the blackout themed dance tonight, in addition to our fall play this upcoming weekend. We have our middle school band and chorus concerts, as I previously stated. Those are coming up in December. You can check out our district calendar for those dates. Those are always great performances, great turnout. And Northern's back on the attack once again. And we'll see whose possession that goes to. And Lawrence looking to clear the zone, but having a tough time here. And they finally do get it to about the 40-yard line. And they are moving the ball forward. Tell you what, it takes a lot of stamina to play at this level. And these girls have just been running nonstop. So credit to both these teams for their conditioning and their effort here. In this final, couldn't ask for a better effort from both of these teams. And that one's going to get thrown in. And Northern's going to be trying to keep Lawrence out of the attack here. And once again, for those tuning in, I'm Mr. James Dowd. We are live at the farm. It is Friday, November 14th, 2025, as the Northern Burlington Greyhounds take on the Lawrence Cardinals for the Group 3 Sectional Championship. This is the final with the 1 and 2 seeds respectively. And Northern is the number 1 seed, which is why they're hosting this game. Lawrence is the number 2 seed. I previously stated how both these teams got here with some hard-fought victories. And Northern's first goal was from leading scorer Gianna Hanf, who is 1 goal away from tying the school record. So wishing her the best of luck, but more importantly, wishing the team the best of luck here in this one. Still plenty of action left, as both these teams really fighting for every possession and doing a great job here in this second half. Scoreless in the first half, for those who don't know. And Northern's looking to hopefully get it back on the board here. So great play there. Advancing the ball. And that was a great shot, but deflected by Lawrence. So let's see if the Hounds can set up something here. Possibly go up 2-0. Great stop there before it sailed out of bounds. And really can't say enough about this Lawrence defense. They've been doing a great job thus far. And a little trip up there. So, as previously advertised, this has been quite the matchup between the number 1 and number 2 seeds. And after a hard-fought first half that ended scoreless, both teams came out here in this second half looking to establish control. And it didn't take long, a few minutes into this second half, before Northern's standout striker Gianna Hanf made her mark. And just a few minutes into that second half, she found a pocket of space, timed her run perfectly, and just got a clean finish to put Northern up 1-0. And it's really the kind of moment that demonstrates why she's the most dangerous offensive weapon here on the Greyhounds. Quick on the ball, confident, always ready to capitalize when it matters. Total team effort, setting her up, doing that. And for Lawrence, really, this is where resilience becomes crucial. You know, they showed in the first half that they can defend, they can stay organized, they can match Northern's pace. They're only down a goal, and there's plenty of time left. But they have an opportunity here. There's still a lot of soccer left to play. And Lawrence, we've seen, has the work rate and the discipline to climb back into this one. Obviously, they wouldn't have gotten here without all of that hard work. And great play there by the Cardinals keeper. Now, Northern, on the other hand, has the advantage, home field, and they're up by 1, and we all know how important momentum is. And an early second half goal can certainly be a spark. But can't fall back on your laurels, because to stay sharp is really important. Lawrence has a history of pushing the tempo late, creating goals in transition. But a 1-goal lead, thanks to Hanf's early strike, has us up here in this second half. But this one is far from over, folks. So the Greyhounds back on the attack, looking to perhaps score another goal. Really feisty here on offense, trying to do something, and gotta love the effort here going into this one. Oh, looks like a little aggressive play here, so we're gonna take a quick timeout here, folks, as we pick back up here after the pause in the game action. All right, so we're back after that brief timeout. Both teams regrouping after that tough fall towards the back of the end zone. Good news is, player involved able to get up under their own power, no injuries, just one of those hard accidental collisions that come from two teams battling with real intensity. Officials handled it well. Coaches, training staff checked in. Everyone is reset now and ready to go. Before the stoppage, the game really started to open up. You could feel both Northern Burlington and Lawrence building momentum in different ways. Lawrence doing a great job stretching the field, trying to work through balls into the channels. Northern continued leaning on their disciplined possession, quick touches, smart movement, and constantly looking for space behind the Lawrence back line. Tell you what, Northern's midfield in particular has been really outstanding. Their ability to settle the ball, switch the point of attack, and force Lawrence to shift defensively has really kept the Cardinals' back line busy for most of this match. And of course, when Northern controls a tempo like that, it sets the stage for their biggest offensive threat, Gianna Hanf. And she's been active all game long. Even when she doesn't have the ball, she's making those intelligent angled runs that keep defenders guessing. She's the type of player you always have to mark closely. She'll take advantage of any tiny mistake, and her teammates certainly set her up for that. As the match has progressed, you can see Northern intentionally trying to feed her more. She's had a couple of solid looks, one on a quick cross and another on a ball that she nearly chased down before Lawrence's keeper smothered it. Checking toward the ball, and looks like there's going to be contact. Hanf goes down in the box, and the referee is pointing to the spot. So that's going to be a penalty kick for the Greyhounds. Lawrence defenders disappointed, but Hanf timed that cut perfectly, got her foot between the defender and the ball. And anytime you make contact from behind the box, you're taking a risk. And the referees clearly had a good angle and didn't hesitate. So here comes that moment. Gianna Hanf looking to put the Hounds up 2-0. Also looking to become Northern's all-time leading scorer, or a tie for the record. And this is exactly the opportunity that a star lives for. So, keeper setting her feet, trying to read Hanf's body language. And Hanf strikes it in. And she scores. Perfect placement, just out of the keeper's reach. Northern Burlington jumps ahead 2-0. And you can certainly feel the energy now shifting immediately. So what a sequence. After that brief timeout, after a tough fall and a reset, Northern gains control, pushes the tempo, earns a penalty, and cool under pressure, Hanf delivers exactly what the team needed. So now Lawrence finds themselves trailing 2 down in this second half, but we'll see how they respond. There's still plenty of time left. But now that the play is resumed, Northern, we'll see if they can continue that pressure. Lawrence has been physical, they've been gritty, they've been committed defensively, but they've also spent a lot of time absorbing attacks, and eventually something has to give. What's really noticeable now, folks, is the physicality. The game has gotten heavier, tougher, more demanding with each minute, and both teams understand how much is at stake. And they're laying everything on the line here. Northern is fighting to protect their lead, closing down lanes, stepping into tackles, making sure Lawrence doesn't get anything easy. Lawrence, meanwhile, showing real grit. They're trying to win every second chance ball. They're pushing everything into contested areas. They're refusing to go down. And while they may be down 2-0, they are absolutely not out of this match. In fact, if anything, you can feel the urgency growing with every possession. Sometimes, going down a goal or two really sharpens the team focus, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. Lawrence is pressing, challenging every touch, and trying to disrupt Northern Burlington's rhythm. They know they don't have to score right away, but they just need to keep themselves in striking distance and waiting for that moment to break through. And there's moments in the match where mentality really matters just as much as skill. Northern wants to manage the lead. They're playing really well. They can't open the door for Lawrence to tilt the field in their favor. And Lawrence knows that one opportunity can certainly help them flip this match. And you can see everyone hustling to chase down long passes, midfielders throwing their bodies into challenges, defenders just fighting to compress the space. And I'll tell you what, the referees are certainly doing a great job here, letting the girls play. And each 50-50 ball is a little more contested. And both teams are doing a great job trying to keep control and find balance. And it's certainly been physical, much more in this second half and more intense, but that just shows the determination of both these teams. And Northern is staying composed. They know Lawrence is pushing, and instead of giving anything up, they're picking their right moments to counter. And then when they get possession, they're spreading the field, they're slowing things down, they're forcing the Cardinals to expend as much energy as they can chasing every ball. But Lawrence isn't backing off. And both teams are really committed to fighting through every ball and creating that spark that they need. So with the clock ticking, we've got a match that's growing more physical, more emotional, more competitive by the minute. Lawrence down 2 goals. Northern with the lead. And both teams, I'll tell you, as I've stated, are showing just absolute heart. And there's plenty of soccer left, but you never know when the next big moment is coming. As the clock continues to tick down, Northern still holds that 2-0 lead, led off by Gianna Hamp's early second half goal and then her penalty strike. But the story of the match really right now is the tension on the field. I mean, you could feel it. Both teams sensing the next big moment could really reshape the game. Lawrence is pushing hard for a goal to get back into this one. Northern is holding and waiting for their openings, and the crowd is fully locked in. And again, can't say enough about this home crowd here today at the farm. When Lawrence is in possession, I mean, they're really working the ball across the back. They're trying to build from the ground up. They're not trying to force anything, which is smart, but they need to get some clarity here. I mean, a good diagonal ball or a good advance could really help get them back into this one if they can connect some passes. They're trying to dictate pace, but Northern is not letting them get too comfortable. Northern, on the other hand, remains disciplined, and you can see their defensive line. They move as a unit. They're stepping up together. They're dropping together. They're never leaving gaps. And really, that cohesion is what's made them so hard to break down this season. Lawrence tries again and again, but Northern's defense has really been outstanding all night, reading plays before they develop. When Northern pushes the ball, they come with aggression, and certainly they've done a great job in this second half. They're also trying to slow things down a little bit, as I stated, trying to expend some of Lawrence's energy and trying to wind down the clock, but still trying to maintain their rhythm. And they need that. Lawrence needs to keep the ball on the ground. They need to keep stringing passes together. That's how they're dangerous. Corner kick here for the Hounds. But Northern, again, doing a great job, great awareness to eliminate those threats. But Lawrence isn't letting up. They're staying on the attack. And you can hear the stands from both sides as Lawrence is trying once again to get closer and trying to create chances. They just need that one moment to fall their way. And that one's off the mark there for the Greyhounds, but great shot attempt. When the pace gets a little frantic, it favors Lawrence, who really are trying to get some high energy plays and trying to get a quick goal Northern certainly dictated the tempo all night, and that's really when the game becomes deliberate and structured and much harder for the Cardinals to disrupt. So Lawrence has been here before. As I stated, this is their second straight sectional final. Neither one of these teams has ever won a sectional championship, and certainly we're rooting for the Greyhounds, and we're rooting for a good game, and we certainly got one here. And Northern's really been pushing it here in this second half. So Lawrence looking to speed up on offense. Northern hustling, always trying to get numbers back. And it feels like every time one team tries to get close enough to break through, the other one steps up with a huge defensive moment. So this is some high-level soccer, folks. Two Welch-coached teams refusing to give an inch. And now we're deep into this second half. And great crossing attempt there by the Hounds, just off the mark. But that could have been just a big-time goal for Northern. With little to no stoppage, both teams are still pushing like it's the opening minutes. Lawrence trying to spread the field, trying to make switches on either side. Northern reading it well, but persistence is still keeping both teams in this one. Some clever footwork there, but defended nicely. Once again, congratulations to Gianna Ham for tying the all-time leading scorer in Northern history with her 2 goals tonight. But both teams are playing with fire now, folks, and Northern is searching for that insurance goal. Lawrence is searching for a goal to get them back into this one. But still anybody's game with neither team refusing to fade. So we're still waiting for that next big breakthrough. And you get the sense it's coming. The question is, who is going to strike next? Is Lawrence going to get back into this one with a quick goal? Or is Northern going to put this one away with a third goal here late in this second half? So, the throw coming in here. Pressing for another goal. Lawrence trying to hold on and trying to find a spark somewhere. Northern and Lawrence both working patiently now. Northern doesn't need to rush anything. They've got the lead. They've got the momentum. But Lawrence certainly is trying to play some smart soccer. And they're trying to force Northern out of their comfort zone to shift and maybe get a goal. And both teams really defending hard. And that's going to be a trip there by Lawrence. So Northern's going to get another penalty kick, or another kick from about the 10-yard line. So another chance here to put this one out of reach. So we'll see what the Hounds can do. Good shot there by Northern. Great save there by Lawrence. And this one, can't say enough about the competition here tonight, folks. Both teams moving the ball with purpose and trying to pounce on every loose ball. This game is absolutely relentless now. So, fighting for possession. Both teams looking for one tiny moment of misalignment. And every player is dialed in, and every pass is intentional. So approximately 12 minutes remain here in this second half. Northern cruising in this one. And once again, I am Mr. James Dowd. I'm your announcer for today. And we are here live at the farm. It is Friday, November 14th, 2025, as the Northern Burlington Greyhounds take on the Lawrence Cardinals in the Central Jersey Group 3 sectional final. And Northern is the number 1 seed going into this tournament. Lawrence is the number 2 seed, and we've really gotten a battle of 2 really, really good teams. As previously stated, both of these teams are vying for their first sectional title in their school's history. Lawrence was in the sectional title game last year, and they have really competed hard here, but Northern has dominated this one. It was 0-0 at halftime, and both teams seem to make some adjustments, but Northern has been the beneficiary of their top goal scorer, Gianna Hamp, who scored early in the second half and then scored on a penalty kick. But still, lots of action left to play, and still anybody's game. Great scoop up there by the Greyhounds. And at any moment, the momentum could shift. Lawrence gets a goal, and you never know. This game could be, and it still is, highly competitive. And the ball's at about midfield here, as both these teams are fighting for every possession here in this one, folks. And looks like a beautiful ball there. And Hamp has another attempt, and she's going to score. So Gianna Hamp, congratulations. All-time leading scorer in Northern history. Third goal of the match, a championship hat trick for Northern Burlington superstar. What a moment, what composure, what great team effort setting that up. What a performance by all of our Greyhounds on the biggest stage of the season. These girls are ecstatic. The fans are going crazy here. The sideline erupts. Everybody's on their feet. The score is now 3-0, Northern Burlington in this championship match. And Northern has just taken over this game. Played really, really hard in the first half. Had a draw there in the first half. Both teams really competing hard, but now, this brilliant second half by all these girls has just been perfect. And I'll tell you what, Lawrence has fought with heart, but our Lady Greyhounds, they've been on another level tonight. So congratulations to our girls. Northern Burlington now in full control. That could be considered the knockout blow here in this title match. But just can't say enough about the contribution of all these girls here tonight. They've just been so hardworking and done such a great job collectively. And while Hamp has gotten the goals of the match, it's all been set up from, like I said previously, the goalkeeping, the defenders, the middies, the strikers, everybody here on the Hounds. So just a great collective team effort and a great coaching job here by Coach Yesner and assistant coach Rafrano. So Northern looking to make history, folks. Super excited in this one. Certainly some time left in this one, but Lawrence has their work cut out for them with not too much time remaining in this match, and certainly down 3 goals is going to be really, really difficult to overcome. So Northern in cruise control here. All they need to do is wind out the clock, and our Greyhounds will make history. So it's just been a really exciting night to be a Greyhound. We wrapped up our last season, our spring sports season, with a baseball championship. And now our girls soccer team is going to wrap up the fall sports season with a sectional title. So it's just been a great time here in 2025 for Northern Athletics. And just can't say enough about our fans, our friends, our community members, our athletes, and everyone here at the farm who is contributing to these awesome achievements. So, with under 10 minutes to go here, folks, Northern Burlington is on the verge of making girls varsity soccer history. The scoreboard reads 3-0, and everything is falling into place here for a truly memorable championship performance. The energy in the stadium, as stated, has been electric. Fans on their feet, waving banners, cheering with every touch, soaking in what will be a historic win for Northern. Northern still working the ball with confidence, passing across midfield. Great play from players like Leah Zola, Bex Kearns, and obviously we can't talk about this game without mentioning Gianna Hanff. The hat trick she just completed has put her atop Northern's all-time leading goal scorers, and she's still only a junior. So the poise, the timing, the finishing of all of our girls tonight has been phenomenal. Every team they've faced this season, they've had to adjust their entire game plan. And, Northern finds time and time again the moments to strike, and they've just got such great talent. Their defensive effort has been phenomenal tonight. The back line has stayed disciplined. Communication has been crisp. And the keeper has made just a series of crucial saves to maintain the shutout. And that's not just a reflection of the player skills, but really the strategy instilled by Coach Yesner and assistant coach Rafrano. The game plan been executed to perfection. 0-0 at half. They went in there. They maintained poise. They came back with precise attacks. They had pressure at the right moments. And it's just been a total and collective team effort. And tip of the cap to Lawrence. They're still fighting. They're still trying to get some pride, find a way back into this game. But it's really been the Greyhounds' composure under pressure that's been remarkable tonight. And each team has fought for every ball, has fought for every challenge, fought for every pass. And Northern's come out victorious, pending any unusual circumstances. And that's really the story of a team that knows what's at stake and is refusing to let this slip away. And I'll tell you what, once again, the fans, friends, families, community members, what a turnout. I mean, the energy from the stands has been palpable. Every goal, every save, every key pass has just been met with roaring applause. And that's really what Northern Burlington athletics is all about. Community, pride, and moments. And now Northern is minutes away from etching their names in the history books. What great plays from our entire squad. Northern has dominated the stats and the spirit of the game. And with just a few minutes remaining, the celebration is quietly building and the team is staying focused. And it's clear history is about to be made, and Northern TV is proud to be a part of that. So we look forward to celebrating this, and we also look forward to Northern moving on to the next round of the state games, and we'll find out the results of those on Saturday, who Northern will be playing. But for now, this team, this night, this performance will be remembered for years to come. So Northern is not just winning a championship, they are defining a legacy, and they're going to be hanging a banner that will be up with pride for years and years to come, and will really set the expectation for future teams. And who knows, Northern's got a great squad, and we're going to retain some great players for next year, and we could very well be back, fingers crossed, in this same situation next year. So not to get too far ahead of ourselves, want to take this one in, want to enjoy this moment, want our friends, family, community members, coaches, staffs, parents, everybody here to enjoy this. And Northern is winding the clock down here in this one. Lawrence trying to possibly get on the board for some pride, but they fought valiantly, so tip of the cap to them and their coaching staff. 2 straight sectional finals is not easy, so they've certainly done their very, very best the last 2 years. But Northern was just the better team here tonight. And as I stated previously, we were hoping for a good game. We got one. We were hoping for a Greyhounds win, and looks like we're going to get one. So just a great night to be a Northern Greyhound. We look forward to the girls' next game as they move on in the States. And we look forward to a very, very exciting winter sports season as well. And we have a lot to look forward to for our winter sports season. Our girls and boys bowling team actually exceeded their win totals from last year, so looking forward to a great season there, in addition to our Special Olympics bowling team. Our winter track team was really competitive in all of their meets last year, so we wish them the best of luck moving forward.
4 minutes.
Also, in their first year, our Northern girls wrestling team really did well in some of their key meets in the fastest growing sport in the U.S. Our boys basketball team was really competitive and had some big wins. And want to once again congratulate Coach Dean Darling on getting his 200th victory as the boys coach.
Oh, yeah.
Our boys wrestling team won their first sectional title in school history, which was awesome. Our girls and boys swim teams did really outstanding. Our girls basketball team scored some big wins versus local rivals last year, and want to congratulate Coach Ed Fitzpatrick on his 100th coaching victory last year. So congratulations to Coach Fitzpatrick. And our winter cheerleaders did a great job keeping all of our fans fired up during the winter sports season. So lots of excitement looking forward to at the farm here. Getting back to the game here, what a monumental night for Northern Varsity Girls Soccer. This team has made history here tonight, folks, and you could feel the energy in the stadium from the first whistle. Northern came out aggressive, controlled the pace, never let up. Teams were tied 0-0 going into halftime. Gianna Hamp was absolutely unstoppable tonight, completing a hat trick, becoming Northern's all-time leading scorer. Still, as a junior, that's a record that will stand as a testament to her skill, dedication, and leadership. But credit goes to the entire squad and all the players I named and some of the players that I didn't name, so excuse me, but they all played flawlessly. Lawrence defended hard, but it was Northern's persistence, and it was their defensive holding of the line and their offensive pressure that broke through at just the right moments. And let's not forget Northern's goalkeeper, who was rock solid, shutting down any chance Lawrence had to get the lead, proving that championships are won with teamwork, folks, at both ends of the field. So head coach Shannon Yesner, assistant coach Michelle Rafrano deserve huge recognition for guiding this team through the season, especially for the preparation that made this championship win possible. And the strategy was clear. The execution was perfect. And the heart of this team, folks, is unmatched. So the fans have been phenomenal, cheering every pass, cheering every shot, cheering every goal. And this victory isn't just about the scoreboard. It's about the energy, the determination, and the history that was made tonight. And it's about being a Northern Greyhound. And these girls have set a new standard. And these players will be remembered in school history for years to come as the first team to win a sectional title for varsity girls soccer. So Northern has done it, folks. History's been made. It's been a pleasure to do this with you. A sectional title is in the books. Memories of a lifetime. And what a team, what a season, and what an unforgettable night for Northern varsity girls soccer. So this one is about to be in the books, folks. Congratulations to the Lady Hounds. I want to take this opportunity to thank our camera crew, our Northern TV students, production crew, Mr. Scott Marcheski, Mr. Lucas Baisden, Mr. Cameron Langley. I also want to thank Mr. Bruno Ferreira. I want to thank Northern Burlington Athletics, the team, the girls, as well as Lawrence Athletics. And just want to say congratulations to the girls once again. Well-deserved victory. Can't wait to see the celebration here at the end. So on behalf of all of us here at Northern TV, I am Mr. James Dowd, and we are signing off.